You just hit play on 10-Minute Tech Talks, business insights and growth hacks for the time-crunched entrepreneur. I'm your host, Jonathan Kirsting. I'm with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe Radio. So why do so many promising business conversations quietly disappear after a handshake? Well, in this episode of 10-Minute Tech Talks, we explore a problem every tech entrepreneur knows too well. You meet the right people, you have a great conversation, and somehow absolutely nothing happens next. Well, David Radin breaks down why networking isn't broken because of people, but because of systems, and how recognizing that gap led to him building Confirmed Meet and Greet. If your business depends on relationships, sales, or partnerships, his insights could change how you think about in-person connections forever. So keep on listening to hear how David solved this problem with a little bit of technology and a lot of fortitude. Let's jump into it right now. Before we jump into everything, you work on so many different types of things out there. And of course, we want to talk about what you're doing through the Confirmed app that you've been working on. Give us your lowdown real quick so we know what we're talking about today. What are you doing these days, David?
Okay.
And then we'll jump into the new product, of course, that you're ready to launch, which I think is very exciting for you.
Yeah, so I think you're aware that I've been in the industry for a few years, a few decades.
A couple. I think you just, 2022 you got into it or something like that?
Right, for TQ?
Yes, I did.
That was a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
Anyway. Yeah, so I continue to do what I've been doing with Confirmed, which is to help my clients be more productive.
Absolutely.
And be able to do a better job in their day-to-day work life and make it less stressful.
Like I said, you're always spinning something up, and that's what I think is really cool. Let's jump into this. We just got to jump into this. I'm very excited for you. I mean, but they said you're always working on stuff to make people's lives easier, especially in the business world, right? Whether it's scheduling calendars and invites and things like that. Now you're entering the event space. Which is kind of crazy because I just love saying the fact that, like, man, there's so many events going on just everywhere, but Pittsburgh in general, I feel like the events have just picked up. I look at the Tech Council. I mean, we do 130 plus events a year.
You do.
There's something to go to every night of the week at Pittsburgh for professional development.
That is true.
As far as I'm concerned. So.
That is true. And we're already part of some of them with Confirmed.
Right.
But
okay, cool.
In fact, you say that I'm entering the event space. I personally am not. I used to be conference co-chair of two of the largest internet and sales related conferences in the world.
Okay.
So one of the fun things about Confirmed Meet and Greet is now I'm in a position where I can take a lot of the things that I've done over the years in various parts of my life and various roles that I've had in the tech industry and elsewhere, and sort of bring them together for the good of mankind, so to speak. So it's a really fun way to be able to do that. But, you know, if you think about it, the events industry, the events idea is actually staging a comeback right now. They stopped almost completely in March of 2020.
Timing is perfect.
We managed to stick around.
You're resilient, man. That's why we love you, dude. You keep at it. That's cool.
So look, you are one of the most prolific, best workers that I know.
Me?
You and Audrey both actually are two really good networkers.
Maybe,
probably in part because of what you just mentioned a few minutes ago.
We do a lot of events, yes.
You do a lot of events.
I run into people a lot,
and some of that is on purpose, I think.
Well, yeah, I like to talk to people.
So let me take you as an example.
Okay.
Because, you know, and when I talk to people at events, when I'm introducing this, they're always nodding their heads at this particular thing. So generally, if you think about the last event or last several events that you've done, chances are at those events, one of three things happened to you. Either you talked with somebody and forgot what you talked about.
That happens.
Or you talked with multiple people and you forgot with who that you were talking about a specific topic to.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's even more basic. There are times when I'm doing so many things at once.
Right.
Someone tells me their name and then it goes in my head and right out sometimes. And that's like the worst thing in the world.
It's not you. It's not you. Okay.
I'm not losing my marbles.
This is the state of the human race.
Yeah, okay.
So those two things happen to almost everybody at any networking event. And the third one is follow-up just doesn't happen.
Well, that's are there some startling statistics on the amount of follow-up that actually happens from a meeting? Because so many times it's like, you have every best of intention to get back to that person, but you either lose their card or
you forget about it, or life gets in the way, or whatever. Yeah, there's lots of reasons it doesn't happen.
Okay, and Meet and Greet's going to address all these things,
that's
right?
the idea.
Okay, I'm building up to the suspense here.
When you think through this, what you realize is, and when you deal with, especially in the sales world, and look, we've designed this first in mind with people who are in a sales type of role because they do a lot of in-person networking.
Right.
This product, Confirm Meet and Greet, is not about Zoom meetings or Teams meetings.
Thank God.
This is typically about in-person meetings where you and I are, or events where you and I are going and we're trying to.
Should have called it Press in the Flesh.
That's a new one.
Just, you can use it if you want to. Next one's going to cost you $5.
Thanks, but I think I'm going to use Meet and Greet.
Okay.
You anyway.
Well, it could be an after-hours version of that.
We got that.
Okay.
We got that too. Anyway, so what we realized, and again, this goes back a long way, was doing this type of work for many years with many companies and on behalf of my own companies. And what we realized is that business relationships don't die. They never die. But they do fade away because they don't get the attention and because they don't get the follow-up.
Why am I thinking of a Neil Young song right now?
Yeah, I like it. So anyway, when you think about it in that perspective, you say there's something that needs to be done here. So we said a couple of years ago, we want to address this. And our first thought was, we're gonna create a new e-business card. And so I brought in a team of 4 CMU people to help me out with some new concepts and see if we can recreate the idea of a business card.
Wow, geez, that's like ripping up ages of tradition here.
Well, you know what we realized?
Here's what's so funny is that I don't own business cards. I have some, but I don't care to use them. And it's always like, which is bad because like you want to exchange, but then most people don't have a card. But then when they do, it's like, yeah, really? You give me a card?
So I carry one around, but you'll notice I ripped the QR code off of it. So we started to do this whole, we thought, hey, e-business card, this is a better way to do it than regular business cards. There's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
And
weren't people bumping their phones for a while or something going on?
That's part of what you can do right now. There's lots of neat things you could do.
Yeah.
But none of them make you more productive. And we started to go diving down this road, and we took several months to go figure out how to do it. We actually had designs put together, and we looked at the designs and we said, these are really neat. They're really nice. They're a great e-business card.
But do they really solve a problem?
They don't do the job. They don't solve the problem.
Well, that's interesting to me. I'm glad you're able to admit that to yourself, because seriously, this is something I see so many times. People go down a road pretty far, and they're just going to convince themselves that this is great.
Well, you're
that
right.
happens, man. And you've been down the road many times, so I've seen people just keep digging it deeper, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, and frankly, most of the time very often it's not that it's not a good idea, but there are other pieces that are either incorrect or missing or whatever. But there's all sorts of reasons.
Or you realize what you have is just a freaking feature, right? And it's just like, well, that's great, but like I can't really scale this.
So we looked at this thing and we said, this is really a good e-business card reader, but it's never going to see the light of day because it doesn't differentiate what we want to get done and what we want people to come to us to do. So we said, let's go back to the drawing board and let's work backwards and say, let's define what the specific problem is.
Yeah, what's the scenario where you're trying to remember someone's name or their contact information, right?
You don't want that relationship to fade away.
Right.
So we worked backwards and we introduced this idea of Confirm Meet and Greet. So the idea is you already have some things that you do. And at most of these types of events, you have some sort of badge on, or maybe some nameplate in front of you or something to that effect.
Nameplate? Wow. Damn.
And what do they call it? Name tags.
I want a nameplate. That could be your next thing. Confirm nameplate.
And I know on the podcast and on the radio, nobody can see what's in front of us on this desk. But I've got 7 or 8 different name tags that have been given to me over the last, 6 months.
I like the old school one that says, hello, my name is David.
But what about that one intrigues you?
Because it's hand done.
It's handwritten.
Right. So how are you going to capture something that's handwritten?
And that's sort of a cool thing. I'm going to describe this for people on the radio. So what happens is you're wearing a name badge. Now that one doesn't have your name. That one's got my name on it. But all it says is David.
For demonstration purposes.
I aim it at that badge.
Yeah.
And I click read a name badge.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I just took the picture of you, really, that badge was little. It wasn't really big.
Yeah.
Would you please read the name that's on there now?
It says David Radin. It's the name tag that I'm holding
there. Because it found me. We did some matching. So what we're doing is we're combining AI.
Good. With
OCR, which goes way back in my background, because I used to work for engineering scanning companies back when I first started in the industry.
So here's the big lesson for entrepreneurs. Opportunities don't disappear because of bad intentions. They fade because of friction. The best tech products don't change human behavior. They work with it, just like what David created with the Confirmed app Meet and Greet. This conversation is really a reminder that the most powerful startup ideas come from everyday frustrations we've all learned to tolerate until someone like David decides not to. Hey, I look forward to seeing you on the next 10-Minute Tech Talks. And if you'd like to hear my entire Tech Vibe radio interview with David Radin, click on the link in the description and jump right into it. I'll see you on the next one.